Morning. I'm just, well, obviously we're starting the morning with a fresh coffee. I was just saying, it's really funny how Starbucks classify their cup sizes. That's their idea of a medium, which basically fills my hand. And also they fill it right up to the very brim. It's not conducive to staying in the cup and spilling all over the car. Yes. Also, welcome back to the 720S. So hello and welcome back to the McLaren 720S. I know I've had this for a while and it hasn't been on the channel. The reason being is that I'm just traveling so much recently that, as I'm sure you're aware, I barely have time to even drive my own cars lately. So it is awesome to be back in this car. And today we are heading to NVN London for the first update since the announcement of this project. Now, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone. The support has been overwhelming. I'll be completely honest, I was really nervous actually dropping the announcement of NVN London because, let's face it, even though it does support the world of cars, it's still a sort of different route and a different theme to, I guess, what the channel was founded on. So, we're on our way down to London in the 720S for an update of progress at NVN, and I shall also run you through plans and stages of the build progress once we get there, and then there's some really cool stuff happening in London a little bit later on after that. So, let's drop some cogs, make most of this 700 horsepower, see you at NVN. Woo-hoo! Hey man, look, there's nothing wrong with a bit of mech. But, so Payton, show your face, Payton. How you doing? This is a friend of mine who is joining me. I'm taking him down to show him NVN. He's going to help film while I walk around that vast space. But I was just saying, there's a little bit of an insight. He was just laughing because I was playing some like 80s gold. And I was saying, look man, this is the stuff, this is the music I play when people are in the car. Imagine what I play when people aren't in the car. But actually, the stuff I play when people aren't around might be surprising, is the heaviest of metal. Like the heaviest.
So when we're talking heavy metal, how heavy are we talking?
You can barely hear what the guy's saying because his voice box is bleeding because he's screaming so hard. Kill switch engage,
okay,
or like that. It's not like super duper hard, but it's a pretty heavy guy. So kill switch engage, disturbed. Metallica's my warm-up act. That's like where it starts, you know what I mean? So if I just want to appreciate some good metal, I'll go to Metallica. The theory is, because people are like, you really don't fit the profile. When I was younger, I used to race motocross, right? Yeah. And in between that, like following the culture, motocross videos were full of metal. Yeah. It was all heavy revs, some really heavy stuff. And so from like 14 to 21, I grew up on like motocross culture. Yeah. And so every piece of media I was consuming always had this sort of foundation of heavy metal in it. And I think that's why I like it so much. Right. But on top of that, I also played guitar sort of properly for 12 years. And off the back of appreciating metal, some of the guitar talent in metal bands, as heavy as it sounds, is incredible. Yeah, like, of course it is. It's incredible stuff. And also drummers, like, dude, metal drummers are inhuman, particularly the guys that use twin pedals. Yeah. If you hear the beats per minute those guys are putting out with 2 feet, it sounds like a V8 engine. Like, it's incredible. So yeah, that's a bit of I guess a more personal insight into my dark side. Okay, welcome back to NVN. Now, I will get to the NVN topic shortly. We've just had a new video go live, and there's a new feature which is launched on YouTube called Premiere, which basically allows you to get a notification and view the video that's going live before it's gone live. So you can actually subscribe to a video, which is entirely new. I think this might be YouTube's response to people not seeing any updates when content goes live. But what is new is that I'm able to chat to people live in real time as they are watching it. How cool is this? So I'm going to get back to a few comments quickly, and then I shall update you on this amazing space. Okay, I'm just looking at this space now, trying to work out where to start to describe to you. Just the scale of this project is huge. But first of all, I want to say a massive thank you again to be back in here since we've announced this project. The feedback from you guys has been absolutely, it's been overwhelming. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know if it would gain that kind of traction, but to now be here, I'm like even more motivated than ever after reading all your comments. So thanks very much. But to give you an idea of the kind of scale of this place, what I thought we'd do is I'll walk and talk you through some of the stuff that's going on, and we'll see how long it takes us to get around. So, what's actually happening first is actually everything above ground. Everything in the ceiling is what's happening first. The highest point of this ceiling, at its very top, is almost 11 meters high. So right now we don't need all of this sort of ceiling space, but there is something almost a phase 2 within inside this project, which I'm not telling you about just yet. We have this other project which is being built inside, which is so cool. But that will be higher than pretty much everything else which will be in here. But what's been happening so far is the air conditioning and the heating units. Now, that might sound pretty boring. We got to remember the reason we're here is to apply paint protection film to cars. Now, for those of you guys not familiar with this product, it is temperature sensitive. So if it's too cold, the material gets stiffer and harder to work with, and if it's too hot, it becomes almost too pliable and soft. What you need is this perfect heat level. It's around about 20 to 22 degrees. Okay, now, you can just see up here, they've installed 4 aircon units. These link to the actual aircon outside. These are hybrid units, so they do both heat and cold. But what's really important for a PPF environment is clean air. So what is essential, and in my opinion, it's almost maybe more important, is the preparation of the surface of the car is imperative to be perfect and contaminant free, because when you apply PPF on it, it's amazing. It acts like a magnifying glass. If there's any imperfections, if there's a slight bit of grit under it, dust, dirt, first of all, it won't stick properly in the long run, but second of all, it just accentuates it. So we've also had very special units which have air filtration in it as well, which will constantly be filtering the air. Even if we're not cooling it or heating it, it'll be flowing through, recycling the air and pushing it all through filters so that we can get as much dust out of the environment as possible. That's what all of these boxes are here. Now, we haven't literally broken ground, that's coming soon, but all of these boxes are part of the aircon and heating units which are going outside and fixed up there. What we have had is this sort of cabling gantry. If I just point up there to you guys, right through the middle of the ceiling, you'll see that gantry, and that's there for all of the new electrics going in. When you're working on a car, when you're detailing a car, lighting is everything. So the light in here, it feels spacious and bright, but it's not until we brought this car inside. So I drove the 720S in just now. Outside in natural light, that thing pops, it looks incredibly vibrant blue. When you bring it in here, despite the fact that it feels like whitewashed and light, it's nothing like you need to work on it in order to pick up any imperfections in the paint. So the lighting project on this, some of these stages are new to me, and I spent a day with a lighting engineer who was talking me through the design of lighting when it comes to a place like this, and it just blew my mind. Thankfully, we have a fantastic contractor on site to help us with all of that. But this is just day one, everything above ground. I'm going to share with you as it unfolds. There is I would say 3 major projects which are being built inside here. These are the boxes which have been housing these aircon units. Now, one of the biggest things that I have found is the issue with this place is trying to convey to you guys and friends and people I've been talking about the size of it. Now, Painter's just come here and he walked in and he was like, oh. I was like, yeah, man, it's really, really big. So what I'm gonna do, those boxes up there, these aircon units, which look from here quite small, like they look small, right? Check this out. This is the box that those came in, okay? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this box by the 720S to give you some context as to just how big those things are. Yeah. So what I'm saying is we're hanging cars up there. That's how big this place is. So we've got the width of 4 cars hanging up there just for the AC. We still have more units to go in. And hopefully that gives you some kind of context. I mean, I'm gonna bring this around the side as well. Half a car up there. So last time I was in here, we actually filmed inside with a drone. We had to be super careful because we turned off all of the proximity sensors to allow us to fly inside. But we've done the plans, the top-down floor print, and it's amazing actually how quickly we'll fill this place up. There is one additional component to this which I haven't shared yet, which I'm super excited to, which will actually take up quite a lot of space. The important thing for me is that there is obviously in this game, while we are all about, you know, sharing cars, for me the privacy element as well is super important. So there is always, you know, collectors or people who have special project cars that want to keep it quiet. It might just be a car that's going to go into a collection that doesn't want to be seen, but also people who are sort of launching their own cars, they might want to have it paint protection filmed before they announce it to the world. So we're building something interesting that is going to, let's just say, have a very cool area for VIP and private clients. So watch this space on that one. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy the view from here, and then we're going to roll out of here in the 720S and back into central London.
Diamonds so pale, and I'm gonna take you traveling the world. I can love you, yeah, I'm gonna love you. I'll give you all of what I've got, the fancy finds, baby.
One thing I didn't tell you about was the NVN apartment, which has some pretty tight parking.
I'm gonna love you, baby, cross my heart and hope to die.
So this is the kind of place we're staying in. People just leaving their Ferrari parts, literally genuine Ferrari parts, are just kind of lying around in the basement here. So one of the things we haven't told you about right now is obviously the base is in London. I kind of recently moved out of London, and now I have a very legitimate reason to be back in London. So we've got an NVN apartment in London. We're holding that back just for a few more episodes, just because there's some work going on inside to make it complete. But it's an awesome place, and it's going to be really nice to have a sort of base of operations to start videos, end videos, and just hang out and chill and show you what goes on behind the scenes with all of the interesting and cool people involved in NVN. So anyway, yeah, we're now transitioning towards the end of the day, which we have a very special watch event to attend, which is perfect because you guys have been asking about watches. So to the watch event. It's very cool. Alright, I'm sure it sounds pretty busy. We are at the launch of a very cool new watch. We're guests of Bremont tonight. All I know is there is a very close connection with Concorde. They're celebrating Concorde. You guys always ask about watches and the crossover with cars and watches. So we thought we'd bring it to you. You'll get the first look at the unveiling of this brand new watch.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. As they unveil the watches you've seen.
Top of the crown, tip of the crown, you've got 4 little images of the Concorde as well. I think it's done that so well.
All right, that's it for the end of the day. More MVN stuff is coming soon. We just wanted to sort of encapsulate it into, you know, this full kind of day in the life of. We're going to be spending a lot more time in London in the coming weeks and months, obviously, because MVN is now launched. But just wanted to touch base. The real building stuff is going to happen in the next few weeks. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And don't forget, hit that little bell by the subscribe button, because people aren't getting the alerts of all this new content. We don't want you to miss out. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. We shall see you next time. Ciao.